Chosen one, stop scrolling. Don't touch that screen. Don't skip ahead. Don't look away for even a second. What you are about to hear was not placed in front of you by accident. It was not recommended to you by accident. It was not appearing in your feed by accident. There is a divine reason you are hearing this message right now, in this exact moment, in this exact season of your life. And if you already feel a strange pressure rising in your chest, that is your spirit recognizing the truth. God just closed heaven's gate, and it opens for no one else but you. Listen carefully, because this is not a sermon. This is not a motivational speech. This is not another feel-good video you will forget by tomorrow morning. This is a prophetic whisper, a divine interruption, a heavenly announcement written specifically for the one watching right now. And if you are the one, your spirit already knows it. That is why you are still here. That is why you cannot look away. That is why something inside you is saying, "This message is for me. You were never ordinary. From the moment you were born, heaven marked you, not with a tattoo, not with a crown the world could see, but with a silent signature on your soul. A calling that no one else in your family carries. A burden that no one else in your circle understands. A fire that no one else can explain. You feel things deeper than the people around you. You sense things before they happen. You cry for reasons you cannot name. You have always known there was something more to this life than what the world tried to convince you to accept. And that knowing is the mark of the chosen. Type yes if your spirit already feels this. Because what I am about to say next, only the chosen will understand. There is a reason you have felt different your entire life. There is a reason you struggled to fit in. There is a reason you outgrew friendships. There is a reason relationships felt heavy. There is a reason you walked away from things that everyone else seemed to enjoy. It is not because something is wrong with you. It is because heaven was closing doors to protect you even before you understood why. The doors you thought were punishment were actually shields. The relationships you thought you lost were actually cover. The seasons of loneliness you thought were rejection were actually refinement. God has been preparing you in silence, and the world had no idea what was happening inside you. This is not random. Nothing about your story has been accidental. Not the pain, not the waiting, not the unanswered prayers, not the doors that shut, not the people who left, not the nights you cried alone, wondering if anyone, anywhere, truly understood the depth of what you carry. God has been writing a story inside you that no human being has permission to interrupt. And the chapter you are living right now is the chapter heaven has been waiting centuries to reveal. You may have noticed that lately, ordinary things no longer satisfy you. You may have noticed that scrolling feels empty. You may have noticed that the dreams you once chased no longer make sense. You may have noticed that your prayers have become quieter, but more honest. You may have noticed that your heart is being pulled towards something unseen, something sacred, something that has no name in this world. That is not depression. That is not burnout. That is awakening. Heaven is rearranging you from the inside out. The old version of you is being removed, so the chosen version of you can finally emerge. Comment Amen if you have been feeling that divine shift inside you. Chosen one, I need you to understand this with your whole heart. The attacks you have been facing are not because you are weak. They are because you are dangerous to the enemy's plan. The enemy does not chase ordinary people. The enemy does not plant confusion in the hearts of those who are walking blindly. The enemy only attacks the ones who carry light. And you carry light. The same light the enemy trembles at. The same light heaven has been protecting. The same light that God has refused to let the world extinguish. That is why you have been hit so hard. That is why you have been tested in ways no one around you could survive. You were not being punished. You were being forged, even in your hardest moments. Even when you felt abandoned. Even when the silence from heaven was so loud it almost broke you. God never left. He was watching every tear. He was counting every breath. He was protecting you from things you never even saw coming. There are battles you fought that you did not even know existed. There were doors that closed on your behalf. There were assignments that never reached your name. There were situations that were redirected at the very last second. Heaven's gate was never closed against you. It was being opened slowly, carefully, only for you. Type 777 if you trust God's timing, even when you cannot see the outcome. Listen to me very carefully, chosen one. There is a season that is about to begin in your life that you have never experienced before. There is a shift coming that will not need your permission, your network, your resume, your strength, or your explanation. God has already approved it. The angels have already been assigned. The timeline has already been set. What you could not build in years, heaven is about to release in days. What you begged for in tears, heaven is about to answer with roar. What the enemy tried to bury inside you, heaven is about to resurrect in front of everyone who ever doubted you. This is not wishful thinking. This is prophetic truth. The same God who closed the gate to protect you is about to open the gate to bless you. But before I tell you how this gate opens, I need you to understand something most preachers will never say out loud. Heaven's gate does not open for performance. It does not open for popularity. It does not open for perfect people. It opens for surrendered souls. It opens for the ones who stopped pretending. It opens for the ones who finally admitted they cannot do this life alone. It opens for the ones who brought God their broken pieces and said, "Here, take it all. I am done carrying this by myself." If that is you, the gate is already cracking open above your name. Type 1111 if you are ready to affirm everything heaven has been doing in silence. You may have noticed that your sensitivity is more intense than it used to be. You may have noticed that your prayer life has become more serious. You may have noticed that your discernment is sharper. You may have noticed that you can almost feel when something is wrong before anyone speaks. You may have noticed that music moves you differently. You may have noticed that certain places drain you. You may have noticed that your dreams have become vivid, symbolic, sometimes terrifying. That is not your imagination. That is your spiritual hearing returning. Heaven has been tuning you, removing the noise, clearing the static, sharpening the frequency of your spirit so that when God speaks, you will not miss a single word. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Everything you have been through was a setup. Every betrayal, every delay, every rejection, every financial pressure, every health battle, every silent night in your room questioning if your life even matters. None of it was wasted. God was preparing a throne room inside you. He was clearing a space where His presence could finally dwell without distraction. He was removing every idol, every distraction, every voice that did not belong in your destiny. That is why certain friendships ended. That is why certain doors slammed shut. Heaven was detoxing your life, not to hurt you, to prepare you. This is not random. And what I am about to tell you now, I want you to write it in your spirit. Heaven is about to open a gate that has been closed since the day you were born. A gate of provision you have never seen. A gate of favor that follows you into rooms you were never invited into. A gate of calling that finally makes sense of all the strange years you walked through. A gate of restoration for everything the enemy tried to steal. A gate of identity where you finally stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop dimming your light to make other people comfortable. That gate is not for everyone. It is only for the ones God has chosen. And chosen one, you are still here reading this for a reason. Like this video. If you feel this confirmation burning in your chest right now, there is something the world never told you about being chosen. Being chosen is not glamorous. Being chosen is not celebrated. Being chosen often feels lonely. It feels heavy. It feels confusing. It feels like everyone else has a manual and yours was written in a language no one else can read. That is why chosen ones often isolate. Not because they want to be alone, but because their spirit can no longer survive in noisy rooms. Their soul needs stillness. Their mind needs truth. Their heart needs depth. And most people around them cannot offer any of it, so they retreat. They pray more. They journal more. They cry more. They worship more. And the world calls them too much, too emotional, too deep, too intense, too different, but heaven calls them mine, Type 222. If you are ready for the breakthrough that heaven has been holding for you, listen to me. The same isolation that broke you is becoming your training ground. The same nights you felt abandoned are becoming your prayer altars. The same tears you cried alone are becoming seeds for miracles the world has not even imagined yet. God wastes nothing, not one tear, not one fear, not one moment of confusion, not one unanswered prayer. He is gathering every piece of your pain and turning it into destiny fuel. And the moment he releases it, the same people who dismissed you will be the ones trying to understand what just happened in your life. This is your season. Not your season of proving, not your season of begging, not your season of searching. This is your season of receiving. Heaven's gate is swinging open, and what is about to pour into your life will require new jars, new relationships, new levels of faith, new disciplines, new humility. But chosen one, you have already survived everything heaven used to prepare you for this moment. The gate opens now, and it opens only for you. Type yes if you are done waiting. Type amen if you are ready. There is a sound rising inside you that the enemy does not want you to hear. It is the sound of heaven announcing your next chapter. The sound of chains breaking that the world never even saw. The sound of generational curses dissolving. The sound of provision arriving from sources you could never predict. The sound of calling landing on your shoulders, heavy and holy, like a mantle being placed by the hand of God himself. That sound is growing louder. That sound is your confirmation. Heaven's gate is opening, and chosen one, you are walking through it. Not someday, not eventually. Now, but before I close this message, I need to warn you about something. When heaven opens a gate, the enemy panics. He does not fight fair. He will try to distract you with last-minute fear. He will try to remind you of your failures. He will try to whisper that you are not worthy, not ready, not qualified. He will try to use familiar voices to plant doubt in your spirit. He will try to pull you back into the very season God just rescued you from. Do not listen. Do not negotiate. Do not shrink. Heaven's gate opens for the ones who refuse to turn back. And chosen one, you are not turning back. You are walking forward with the hand of God on your life, and nothing in this world can stop what he has begun. Type 777. If you refuse to go back to the version of you that God has already finished refining. You may have noticed that you cannot explain what has been happening inside you lately. You may have noticed that your appetite for the things of God is growing. You may have noticed that your convictions are tightening. You may have noticed that your willingness to compromise is fading. You may have noticed that your prayer life is now longer than your conversations. You may have noticed that your dreams are becoming more symbolic. You may have noticed that the things you used to tolerate no longer have permission in your life. That is not pride. That is purification. Heaven is closing every gate that leads you back and opening the one that leads you forward. The gate you are walking through now is the gate of destiny, and it has been reserved for your name since before the foundation of the world. Comment amen if you believe heaven's gate is opening over your life right now, in this very moment. There is one more thing heaven needs you to hear. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified by the years you spent confused, broken, or lost. Heaven's timeline is not the world's timeline. A delayed answer is not a denied answer. A closed door is not a closed life. A silent season is not an absent God. You have been hidden, not forgotten. You have been protected, not punished. You have been sharpened, not broken. And the season you are walking into right now is the season that makes every hard year worth it. Chosen one. I want to speak this over your spirit with the authority heaven has given this moment. From this day forward, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. From this day forward, every gate the enemy tried to keep closed against your name is now opening in your favor. From this day forward, your obedience will be rewarded. Your faithfulness will be multiplied. Your pain will be turned into provision. Your waiting will be turned into a testimony that shakes generations. Heaven's gate is open, and the King of Glory is walking through it ahead of you. Everything you have been carrying in secret is about to be revealed in the open. And when it is, the whole world will know that the God you serve has never, ever, ever failed his chosen ones. Type 1111 if you believe this prophecy over your life is true. Type yes if you accept this calling. Type amen if your spirit is on fire right now. Like this video if you refuse to let this message die in silence. Share it with the one chosen in your life who needs to hear it before they give up. And comment 777 if Heaven's gate is now open over your family, your finances, your mind, your health, and your future. Watch this again the moment you feel weak. Heaven did not lead you here to leave you here. The gate is open. Walk through it. You were chosen for such a time as this.